We're going to go over how to use Nimbus Screenshot and Screencast to record video. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Chrome Web Store. After you're in the Chrome Web Store, you'll want to go to Search and type in Nimbus. Near the top of the list, you should see something called Nimbus Screenshot and Screen Video Recorder. I already have mine installed, so my button says Rate It, but if you haven't installed it, you should see a button that says Add to Chrome. Follow the directions and install Nimbus, adding it to Chrome. Once it's there, at the top of your screen, you'll see a blue N with a dotted line around it, indicating a screenshot. When you're ready to use it, I'll open up a new tab so that I can show you an example. Let's say I'm going to do a walkthrough for how to use Google Classroom. I go up to my Nimbus. When I click on the Nimbus icon, I have lots of different options, so we're going to talk about these options first. The first thing it's asking is, do I want to capture a part of the screen as an image, or do I want to record video? I do want to show you that there are various options for selecting part of the page, a fragment of a page, a specific area, a selected area with a scroll button, an entire page, or a delayed screen, so it gives you a little time to open up contextual menus, or I could snag a browser window or a blank screen. We are going to take a look at Record Video. When you turn to Record Video, you have several options. At the top, you can toggle on or off whether or not you wish to record microphone sound. You can also record sounds on a particular tab. So if your tab has video or some kind of audio sound with it and you wish to record it, you can toggle this on or off as well. With Nimbus Screenshot and Screencast, you also have the ability to record with your webcam. Should you choose to use your webcam, you can select this and it will record the screen as well as your webcam. You can also show drawing tools, so if you want to annotate on the screen while recording, you can do that. Also, if you would like to have a watermark in the bottom screen, for example your school logo or the Henderson County logo, you can also add that as well. I'm going to click on the video settings so that we can take a look at what's there. I like to leave this at auto so that it takes your current resolution, but if you need a higher quality, you certainly can record in 4K Full HD or HD. The audio and video bit rates are usually set based on what you choose at the top, as well as the frame rate. You can choose to have a countdown. The default is 3 seconds, but if you need a little more time, you can change the 3 and increase it or decrease it. Also, you have the ability to set the screen to automatically delete any annotations you make on the screen after a couple of seconds. If you'd like to make any of these changes, go ahead and select them. I'm going to click on the back button. Finally, at the bottom, you need to decide what it is that you're wanting to record. If you record tab, it's only going to record the specific tab you were on when you started Nimbus. If you want to record your whole desktop and not just a particular tab, you'll choose desktop. You'll notice when I choose desktop, I lose a lot of my options. So if you're needing to annotate, you're going to need to use tab, because desktop does not allow for annotations, and you'll also notice that it will not allow you to have your webcam in the corner either. The final option is just using your webcam. However, I'm just going to record my tab so that I can show you how this works. When you've gone through all your settings and you're ready, simply click Start Record. You'll notice that you get a permissions window. This is asking me, will you allow Nimbus Screenshot and Screen Video to use your microphone and your camera? I'm going to choose Allow. After you do that, notice there's a countdown in the middle of the screen, and I do want to show you that my video is right up at the top. So it's showing you that I am on my webcam, as well as at the very top you will see that this tab has a blue box. The blue box is indicative that this is the tab that's recording. I have to remember that because if I switch to another tab, you're not going to see that tab that I may be looking at. You're still only viewing the tab that's actually on the screen. So now I want to look down at the bottom of the screen at some of the drawing tools. And actually, I'm going to close this little picture of myself, but I do want to show you that there are some other options. I can go full screen if I wanted to start with an introduction to my students and then minimize and put myself in the corner. I'm going to close this though so it's a little less distracting. On the bottom corner, I have arrow tools. Now I do want you to see that I can use a focus mouse. When I use the focus mouse, it brings the attention to where my mouse is pointing. Or I can just use the simple cursor. So it's up to you whether you want a focused cursor, an animated cursor, or just your regular cursor. I'm going to go back to the regular cursor for a moment. We also have a pencil tool, so if I wanted to actually use the pen and draw, you'll notice that right now my color is set to green, but I can choose my colors. So if I wanted to annotate something on the screen, using a mouse is a little bit harder to make a pretty drawing, but you'll notice after that 6 seconds it vanished, which is the setting that I used. I also can use an arrow. So if I wanted to point to a particular thing on the screen, I can draw my arrow and again it will disappear. There's also the ability to draw a square shape, so if you wanted to highlight something on the screen, you could do that as well. Then at the very bottom, you also have a mark. And in the mark options, there are several different things. There's a check mark, there's a question mark, and there's an exclamation mark. So if you wanted to draw attention to something, for example, if I wanted to say, this is the box you should check on, I can put my little check mark there. If I want to say this is the one that's really important that you should pay a lot of attention to, and maybe I'm not too sure about this one, that's our question mark. But what I want you to keep noticing is these are disappearing. They don't stay on the screen. They kind of disappear after that 6 seconds. I also have the ability to use the clear all. So if I'd put a lot of things on the screen and I wanted to get rid of them, I can just click clear all and all of my annotations disappear. I also have the ability here to turn on or turn off my webcam. I also have the ability to pause the recording. This is helpful if you needed to pause it just for a couple seconds to get your thoughts together and then begin again. And I also have the ability to stop the recording by pressing the stop button. I'm going to go ahead and imagine that everything that I've shown you how to get to the classroom. Whoops, I still have it on my question mark. That's a good lesson. Make sure you change it back to the cursor if you need your cursor. So I've told you how to go to the classroom and what to do. So now I'm going to click stop. Once you click stop, you will get this screen that asks you, first I'm going to pause that so that we don't have to listen to this lesson again while I'm trying to teach you. At the top of my screen, I have some options to save. Saving the video saves it to my computer so that later I can send it to Google Drive. There is a send to Google option, but this is only available if you purchase Nimbus Capture Pro. We're trying to save money here, so I definitely am going to choose Save Video. And then I can choose to save it on my computer, so I'm just going to let it save whatever it's called Screencast. It took the name of my tab and it put the date, which I like. So I'm just going to leave it named that because I know this was a screencast at this website on this date. So I'm going to click save and it's going to download that to my computer. I do want you to notice that this is saved as a .webm file. A .webm file is importable into YouTube, so you don't have to worry. You can record your videos in Nimbus and then upload them to your YouTube channel if you'd like. I also want to point out to you that there is a video editor tool to do some simple editing. So if I click on Video Editor, it enables me to crop or trim my video. So when I click here, I can use the tools of cropping or trimming to remove excess pieces from my video. When I'm finished and I've made the changes that I need to make, I can simply click Done, and then I can go back and save my video again so that I have the version that I'd like. So that's the simple way to use Nimbus Screenshot and Screen Video Recorder to record video for your students.